All right, we have to interrupt the break because we have breaking news. This is Adam Schefter, the real Adam Schefter. Yeah, 11.5 million followers, real. A deal has been reached. Two-time Pro Bowl running back James Cook and the Bills reached agreement on a contract extension per his agents Zach Hiller and Matt Leist of LAA. The deal includes the most guaranteed money for a running back in the last 5 years.
Wow. The most guaranteed money for a running back in the last 5 years.
Owen's flashing the lights in here for the YouTube stream. 4 years, $48 million, 30 guaranteed. There you go.
What's the term again? What's the contract again?
4 years,
yeah.
48,
30
guaranteed.
Okay. $12 million a year, but the most guaranteed money.
Of any running back signed in the last 5 years. Yes.
Wow on the most guaranteed money, right? The $12 million is not wow. The $12 million is right where everybody probably would have predicted.
Listen,
that this ends.
This is, I've got, well, whatever. There's a lot to say about it. 803-0550. Okay, so Cook is signed.
Yeah.
We're just back from the update. 4 years, $48 million, $30 million guaranteed. I wanted Cook to stay, so I'm not upset about this. I'm not upset about this. The number one reason I'm not upset about this, they will not draft a running back now. I told you, seriously, I told you throughout this entire process, I would prefer to pay Cook 11 and have a second-round pick than to let Cook walk and use one on a running back. I am not scared off by this amount of money, $12 million a year for a running back. It puts him up there, but he'll get passed a couple times. And the good teams, this is to me the number one point. It's always been, yes, they have a great offensive line. Yes, they have a great quarterback. I need Allen to have the potential for, and in this case, maybe the actual existence of, elite playmaking ability around him. And if they had just walked from Cook, my best thing they had in that department was what?
It was whoever they were going to replace him with.
Maybe. Or it's Shakir. Or whatever.
Right.
But all of this, after all of this, you want to say drama, after all of everything, it's over. And I don't know. We had this big conversation yesterday, Joe, about this, that the Bills are going to try to make it look like they won. I don't know that people will say that they won.
Not with that guaranteed money.
The most guaranteed money in 5 years won't. I mean, we were talking about whether or not they were going to be $15 million was the ask. They pay 12.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is part of the fact, though, that he got the most guaranteed money is that they committed to him for
4
years as opposed to, like, didn't Barkley only sign a 2-year deal?
Yes.
And Derrick Henry only signed a 1-year deal?
Yes.
That's 100%.
100%. Schefter putting that nugget in there is here, agent, here you go. I'll say you negotiated a deal for the most guaranteed money in the last 5 years, with Cook getting a 4-year contract extension.
Yeah, because they're also being very, like, I'll have to find maybe a better list. Barkley's total guaranteed money on his current contract, I've got it $36 million. So, but is that because they added 2 deals together?
It's a great question.
So that's where, like, he really doesn't have the most guaranteed money. He got the most negotiated guaranteed money in one contract. Barkley's is 2 deals kind of being added together. So they're being maybe a little bit cute with the wording there, if I'm reading that right.
Yep.
But either way, like, he's getting, it's more guaranteed money than Kyren Williams just got.
Yep.
That's for sure.
And again, these deals always work this way, where you get the reported deal, then there's the actual deal. We even have guaranteed money and total guarantees and guaranteed at sign.
Yeah.
If you're someone that says, I have no idea, I don't care, the cap's not real, that's fine, because half the time you get cap news, it's 3 different versions of the contract. But James Cook is here to stay.
But the thing about that is the cap is more real the higher the guaranteed money is. Because that's money that will absolutely be on your books at some point. If he made $15 million a year, but the guaranteed money was nothing, then, I might only have to pay him 1 year of that $15 million.
Right. Like, we might find out that and again, dead money, it's a great way to say this. You sign a contract, Joe, you get paid 2 years, whatever, I'll even use his 4 years, 48 with 30 guaranteed. Mm-hmm. Well, if he's on the team for 2 years, and then they cut bait with a dead cap hit, and he got 30 guaranteed, what did he get? He got 15 a year.
Yeah.
Even though the AAV was 12 and the total cash was like that. That's one of the ways that these contracts are always moved around. 803-0550. We have wide open phone lines. Let it settle in with you. Cook is back. And the Bills now, at the end of this offseason, preseason, they have made 6 contract extensions, Allen being one of them. But the 5 guys we went to the offseason of, will they bring them back? All 5 get deals. Mm-hmm. Cook, Benford, Rousseau, Bernard, Shakir. Cook's back.
Yeah.
I am happy.
Joe Marino says 3rd highest guaranteed money total of any NFL running back.
I am happy. And part of the reason I'm happy is because I think they're consistently going to play receiver the way that they do. I need Allen to get help. And the way they've been building, it constantly looks like they, other than the offensive line, which they've built him a great offensive line, the slow chipping away of help for Allen to me has been problematic. And Cook is help. Cook is help for Allen. They're a team that wants to run the ball, maybe more than I'd like them to, but they like to. And Cook, top 10 yards over expectation the last 2 years. Now, I mean, he's here. And there's another question here for this. Like, everybody eats. Now everybody gets paid. Everybody gets paid.
Yeah.
Cook and Shakir will both be part of this team where, as everybody eats, and you can say that, but production will matter when evaluating these players. They got Cook on a contract, Shakir on a contract, Coleman and Kincaid are high picks, Palmer and Samuel are both on decent free agent contracts.
Yeah.
The offense, it's going to stay together for a little while, and Cook stays 4 years, $12 million per year AAV. We'll see what else we can get you. So, by the way, shout out breaking news during our show.
Yeah, I know.
We have been due.
How about early in the show?
This didn't happen at 10:01. This is great. So let's get some calls on it. John in Clarence Center. Hey, John, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I agree with, I can't remember which guy said it, but to give him the weapons around him, maybe you can look back and maybe that's not a fair comparison, but now we sort of have our version of the three amigos like Dallas had a while back. But I think consistency in any sport is what you're aiming for. And I've called a show before, and I was always a Cook fan. And I think 12 at 4 years is good. I don't know too much about the caps and all that with the $30 million guaranteed and what that means across and everything. But as a fan, I'm just so excited and happy to have him back. And that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Have a great day, guys.
Thanks, John. I mean, part of this whole process, and I'm not picking on you, Joe, but I know you're someone that says, like, I'll believe they'll pay a running back when they do.
And here it is.
Like, here it is. Like, boom.
Yeah.
With this move, there's, whether it's a narrative destroyer or if it's just facts, context, whatever, not only do you have to do that, you have to entertain the idea that, Cook's being a me guy, he's a problem, he's a distraction. This entire time, when he said they want him here, he was being honest. I mean, he got more probably and longer term and more guaranteed than most thought he would get.
Yeah, certainly more term even than I thought he would get. Guys aren't signing for 4-year deals usually. They're signing for 3 or even 2
and now,
in a lot of instances.
Here's the other thing about this. Like, when McDermott yesterday said things have changed, it really might be, was this the deal on the table? It might have been. Mm-hmm. And it took him this long to get to this deal? Because this seems like a massive win for Cook. Massive.
I think it's a big win for Cook in that he's getting that amount of guaranteed money. He's getting that term.
He's coming in over Kyron Williams on contract, guy that plays a lot, but I think is not as good of an actual runner of the football.
Yep. Maybe that extra year is really what he got out of the Bills. I'm not sure. Because comparables for 3-year deals, like him getting the more guaranteed money just be that they attached a 4th season to it, which takes him up.
It could be a void year. There could be multiple void years.
That takes him through age 29, by the way.
Okay.
So it's 26, 27, 28, and 29. That's the current deal that he's going to be on. Like, all right, let's see. Let's see if it's true that his lighter workload in college means that he's going to last longer than 99% of running backs. Let's see. Because most times this deal, you end up regretting it. And maybe this will be one of the few times where a team does not. And part of that could be, again, that he doesn't have all the mileage on the tires. But there's no doubt to me that this is a risky proposition. Any second running back contract is going to come with a lot of risk. These guys are always one injury away the second they get to this age. So we'll see. I'm a little disappointed that they did this. I was hoping that it was all a show and that they were going to save that money for other things next year, because now it's an entire offense filled with middle-of-the-road free agent contracts or $10 to $15 million a year contracts, and I was wondering if they would eventually draw the line, and maybe they never will. Maybe they will just keep churning out at $12, $13, $14 million players around Josh Allen.
Right. There's definitely a case to be made that, draft and develop. That's what it's about. Now, that's one thing it can be about. What it's really about is having the best possible team that you possibly can have.
Yep.
It's also about signing contracts that are surplus in value and making smart, cagey moves and not signing this guy and signing that guy. Like, they moved on from Gabe. They weren't going to sign
that's right.
Gabe.
Edmonds, they let walk.
Right. Like, if they're able to, whatever, Cook gets an AAV of 12. Curtis Samuel gets an AAV of 9 and is a non-factor on this team for going on, whatever, a year and a half.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets back soon. Palmer got 11. I feel like there are bigger mistakes, shocker if you've heard me say this before, spending those contracts when you could just draft guys. Mm-hmm. And you could have your cap space a lot of ways. However, this is, if I may, a little Eaglesy. The Eagles pay their offense and draft their defense. Mm-hmm. And will the Bills start to do that? Will the Bills, after Milano departs?
Well, they're going to have to, right?
Right.
There's no other.
They paid Benford and they paid Ed. And the next guy on the defense that's about to get paid is going to be who?
The defensive end that replaces Joey Bosa.
Sure, right. But the point is, the Eagles load their money into their offense. Quarterback, running back, tight end, receivers, the entire offensive line, and they draft their defense and they sign a couple. Are the Bills going to shift to that, where the draft picks are loaded on defense?
They're going to have to, because all their positions on offense are filled.
That's right.
These guys are now paid. Their running back spot is paid for multiple years. The receiver spots are, for the most part, paid for the next couple of years. Their offensive line is the question, right? The interior offensive line.
Torrance.
And that could be draft picks. That could be maybe not to replace Torrance, but maybe the other two.
Maybe.
Because they can't pay everybody.
Jake in Buffalo, live reaction. James Cook got a contract extension. It got done. Jake, go ahead. You're on WGR.
How's it going, fellas? I'm just trying to be a little optimistic. I think, the league took us a little bit by surprise last year. The running back production was, very high, much higher than anybody anticipated. Say that happens the 3 to 5 the next years, the position's going to get paid more. Not to mention salary cap increases. I think this deal, looking forward, rather, is going to look good for the Bills. And, just a little tidbit, I was curious. Do you think they saw anything in the preseason with Ty Johnson or Ray Davis, and we're like, maybe we do really need this guy, but I'll hang up and listen. Thanks, fellas.
Thanks, Jake. I don't
think the preseason game. I mean, Ty Johnson looked great in the preseason game.
I still don't buy the narrative or the idea that like running back is back and about to explode. I think that this contract is just the still slow rising of the running back. The running back market has not exploded. Every other market has exploded. I mean,
his brother 5 years ago signed for $12.6 million per year.
Yeah, right.
And he just signed for 12.
Josh Palmer signed for 10-11, and he's a third option hit free agency.
Right.
Like, to get a top 10 running back at this salary says that it's still kind of whatever. The running back position, I do not think, is exploding. The exploding has happened at a lot of positions.
It's increasing, but it's not exploding.
It's just keeping up with the level, with the cost of living or whatever. Yeah. All right, we'll get more of your thoughts on this. 803-0550, 1-888-550-2550 on WGR. James Cook gets a contract extension. I am glad that he stays. I don't think we are ever likely to call it a bargain. I think the general belief will be that he won. 4 years, $48 million, $30 million guaranteed, according to Adam Schefter, Tom Pelissero, assorted NFL insiders. We don't have the exact breakdown of it, but James Cook signs. Sal Capaccio, a quick check-in. We already talked to Sal this morning, but want to bring him back. So, Sal, here we are. The deal is done, and Cook wouldn't speak with me yesterday, maybe because he was going to write his name on a piece of paper, but Cook gets his extension.
Yeah, one of the first things I thought of was, I guess we'll hear from him today. I think there's probably a better chance of that now happening. Happened just right after I got off the air with you guys, for sure. $48 million over 4 years being reported. So looks like, just looking initially, it's an extension. So that would be 5 years counting this year and plus 4 more. So that's kind of in line with what they've done here with a lot of their young players, Terrell Bernard, Khalil Shakir, Greg Rousseau, Christian Benford. They've kind of set up this window of the next 5 years for Josh Allen, who's signed an extension himself. He's tied up for 6 more years to kind of, go after it and try and bring a Lombardi to Buffalo here with this group. This is their core group they're going to run forward with here over the next 4 or 5 years. Money-wise, I think James Cook did a really good job here to get money, to get paid.
Yeah.
And it's not the $15 million per se that had been floated out there, but this is good money for James Cook. And, the way that he approached it was a bit odd. We all agree with that. But at the end of the day, no more drama. He's going to be on the field. He's going to get paid. And the Bills have their playmaking running back.
It looks like the big win for Cook, Sal, is the guaranteed money part of it. Schefter, when he first tweeted it out, said it was the most guaranteed money for a running back in the last 5 years. I don't know how he's categorizing that, because it looks like he has the third most guaranteed money for a back in the league. But even still, if that's true, it's the third most. I feel like that's still a win for Cook.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from either. That seemed weird when it was first put out there. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. $30 million is the most guaranteed. You brought up Barkley, Henry. They have extensions too, and
right.
I don't know the exact breakdown on them and what the money is, but it didn't feel like Cook exceeded that. But here it's still very significant money, obviously, at a position the Bills have traditionally under this regime not given big money to. Right? They haven't really given significant money to this particular position, so that's changed a bit here. But yeah, I agree with you, Joe. You look at the numbers. That's just something that the agent tells Adam Schefter, and I don't know. Is it actually true? Is it totally accurate? I'm not really sure about that. It feels like also that if it's $30 million guaranteed, let's see where the breakdown is of the guarantees, how that's structured. Is it, hey, after 2 years, it's the Bills can move on from James Cook with very little financial implications, or is it 3 years? If it's 2 years and that can happen, then you're kind of talking about him getting close to $15 million a year essentially, right? Because it'll be $30 million for 2 years. But again, let's go back to the fact that if there's a contract extension, that's 1 year left here, 4 more years. You could also put void years on it. We'll see it. And I would say there could very well be a lowering of the salary cap this year, guys. He was scheduled to count, I think, $5.5 million this year. There could be a lowering of the salary cap here this year.
All right, Sal. We'll talk a little more about it tomorrow. Maybe there's some James Cook chatter on this. Joe Brady's going to speak today, so he can get on the record about what this means to have him back. But James Cook signs his extension. All right, thank you, Sal.
We'll keep you updated. Thanks.
All right, very good. Joe Marino, the Lockdown Bills podcast, slated to join us 8 o'clock on Wednesdays. We'll get his take on this as well. So lots to get to, but James Cook gets his deal. $30 million guaranteed, waiting for some of the breakdown. 4 years, 48. Sal, good to point out it's an extension, so he'll be under contract for 5 years. Maybe 2 of those are void years. Who knows? But he got paid. The hold-in is over, and he got paid.